Hey, Matt.
Hey, Nate.
This is the pre-recorded version for next week because I am not here.
You have a social life of some kind.
I have a prior engagement in which I have to look nice.
That's unfortunate.
It really is. I can't just be like... that being said, what we're in, relaxing. I'm rolled sleeves, so it's not like I'm in a 9,000-pound suit like I was 3 weeks ago.
What are they doing? Like, what's the get-up?
I'm vest shirt. That's
Vest
it.
shirt.
Jeans.
Khakis, jeans?
Jeans.
Nice. That's what we did for Joey's wedding.
Yeah, so I'm only having to usher, too.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, and we're rolling sleeves, so even better. Yeah. But I'm ushering, so like I don't have to do anything anyway.
Yeah, it's not. You just get to. You know what's nice about that?
Well, there's two problems, but go ahead.
I was gonna say you gotta just beeline, grab all the beautiful women.
Well, yes, that's a bonus. The other bonus is I don't have any responsibility technically.
Yes.
The other problem is I'm going to have a lot of responsibility because of who it is, and they are going to come to me before they go to anybody else to get things done.
So.
But I'm fine with that.
Are they hoping for the traditional usher where you take the hand of the female
of the elderlies?
Because generally usher etiquette is, couple, you escort the lady and the gentleman walks beside you or behind you.
I think only in the terms of elderly do I have to potentially worry about actually being an usher.
Okay.
I think otherwise I'm just, and I couldn't confirm this, but I might just be an usher to be something, if that makes sense.
Symbolic.
Yeah, like I'm here to party, but I'm also here to get recognized. I don't know. That's like it's a weird way to state that, but it's true.
It's a status thing.
Yeah,
that's why we're not doing anything for our wedding.
I have no problem like escorting old people.
Yeah,
but they're the only ones I want to deal with escorting. Like if a young person comes to me, if they're a child.
Kick them.
I'll consider it like a cute thing, and I'm like, of course I'll escort you. Like, haha, it's an adorable thing, and if we're playing the women game, that looks great.
Yes.
If they're my age, and there's a person with them, fucking find your own seat. What do I look like?
I would fight to the death.
Depends on if I feel like I can take him real quick. If it's gonna last too long, I don't want to deal with it. Like if it's an even fight and I'm like, this is just going to get into a mess, then I'm going to get yelled at later for doing it. No.
So that's why we're not having anyone in our wedding, because I hate everyone equally. So.
Yeah, I also saw the list that Sam sent me. This was months ago. She's like, my list versus his list, and your list is 5 people.
I could go on
3 pages.
That situation.
I'm sure we could get way off
Angers
topic
me
on that, but we don't need to.
Welcome to the wedding podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, it's just general chat number 2 where we talk about literally whatever we want. That's probably not going to end up being games, but it might be nerdy at some point. The wedding
challenge accepted.
It's more of a wedding weekend, which is kind of weird. I mean, not weird, but from the time I land, I have stuff going on. I think technically until I leave, or close to until I leave. So I'm always going to be doing something with people. I'm sure I'll have time to myself, like in between some of the events, but otherwise I am just partying it up.
That's, I feel like, becoming more commonplace. The weekend of events.
I'm fine with, especially because these ones are planned out. And as much as I love my cousin, that was so horribly planned. I was going through the entire thing like, do I need to take over for your wedding because you have no idea what's going on? And I kind of did to an extent. Like I just stole their room key and took control. But I mean, we're driving to the place that they're getting married at. Like I'm driving the groom and the best man, and the groom's in my passenger seat. And I'm like, hey, so have you ever been up here before? Like to where you're getting married? Like you've been here, right? He's like, no, I've never seen it before. I'm like, oh God, if we get lost, we have no frame of reference if we're even at the right place. But it was a fun time.
Those can be fun too. The chaos.
So I feel like we'll start with something I've teased kind of to you before, and I finally broke down in the store and bought them. There have been weird flavors of potato chips out and about in the world. I think Wise has a few ones. I think Wise has like mac and cheese and cheeseburger
Yeah.
and a couple other ones. Ruffles, I think, started dabbling a little bit more like a jalapeno spicy, something like that. But Lay's seems to try to take it to like another level, and like Wise versus Lay's for craziest potato chip flavor just seems to be in there. This is not the worst. These ones might be really good. This is not the worst flavor I've seen from them. I'm pretty sure I saw ketchup chips at one point. Not that that's the worst one, but to me, not the greatest probably.
Don't see the point.
Right. Like, I can just dip a chip in ketchup if I was that much of an
now,
animal.
if the idea was, let's make ketchup chips, mustard chips, hot dog chips.
No, hold on. First off,
all.
you don't need hot dog chips. But if they said we had ketchup chips and mustard chips, then that would give a crunch and flavor to my burger. I'm all about that life. That's a great way to replace condiments. That's all I'm saying. The one behind you, though, is Chesapeake Bay Crab Spice Lay's Potato Chips. And I figure we shall try them and give them a review of sorts.
Inspired by crab shakes.
Crab shakes?
Inspired. Can you imagine a crab shake? Like a shake.
Oh, like a milkshake?
Shake or
I
malt
was
shake?
I was picturing more a crab with
shaking.
What's that disease?
Michael J. Fox disease.
Yes, that's not the name of it though. Parkinson's?
Yes, Parkinson's.
Yeah, and he's just he just has his claw out there just trying to stay, and it's just shaking.
Inspired by crab shacks along the Atlantic, here's a taste of the bay with custom blended spices ready to savor. Let's get cracking.
Does it really say let's get cracking?
It does.
It would. You smell test, yeah. What do you got? Does it smell spices?
It does.
Yeah.
There's a hint of vinegar in there, I think. I'll let you sniff.
All right.
Sniff it. Yeah, so like there's a spiciness, but there's like
salt, pepper, and vinegar.
Yeah.
First three.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid to say was like it has a distinct hint of salt and vinegar.
Yeah, with like a slight fish seasoning.
Yes.
Very slight.
Yeah.
I'll give you the ceremonial first chip. I know it's really quiet, but not bad. It's comparative immediately for me to a salt and pepper chip with like a little bit of like a mild case of paprika with a mild case of like cayenne, like very small cayenne.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of heat flavor to it, but not
any actual heat.
No,
It's like just pepper flavor, but without any heat.
Yeah, it's like a little spice.
Yeah. I was kind of expecting them to be stronger flavored.
Yeah, they're not as Dorito-y as I thought they would have been. Does that make sense? You know, they're not. My hands are not covered in this shit.
Yeah. Which makes them naturally like probably more edible. I'd eat them at like a summer cookout.
Yeah, if they were the option.
Yeah. I like them. Not bad.
I don't know necessarily that I would choose them over anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It reminds me of like texture-wise and everything. It's a barbecue chip.
Yeah.
Same consistency.
There you go. There's your
chip review. So if you're in the mood for some salt, crab spice from the makers of Lay's.
Now we gotta find. Maybe I'll try to find some actual like crab spice somewheres.
And we'll just try crab spice?
And just try crab spice.
On crab though or no?
Crab is one of the only seafoods that I generally like. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's right. I forgot part of my mission as we were doing our dinners was to branch you out a little bit. We did salmon.
Yeah, we did salmon. Salmon's fine. Yeah. I like clams too.
I'm not counting squid.
I like oysters.
That squid was awful. I'm not counting that.
I like clams and oysters as well.
Shrimp?
No.
Shrimp no, or shrimp haven't tried?
Haven't tried, but I really think I wouldn't like it.
What about scallops?
I've tried scallops. I'm not really They don't really do it for me.
I feel like you didn't get the right ones then. You got to get the big ones.
I've had big ones. We
Yeah,
had
that's the key. If you have a small, they're basically like a rubber. It's not really that good.
Yeah, we had
Not a rubber. Let's be clear. That's they're rubbery.
I had like a
So
gourmet scallop appetizer on a dinner boat thing.
Speaking of gourmet seafood, I went to Ocean Blue.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? Did you have oysters?
So no.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was a work thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like a cocktail hour, and they were walking around with the typical wood plank with appetizers on it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to try any of our? And I was like, well, I mean, sure.
Was it like a planned event, as in like they were
like
catering kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had. You've been there, right?
Yes.
So you know the back room.
Like
if you walk in, there's like the main seating area with the kitchen on the left. Then there's like a back room that also has a door out to the patio.
I don't think I've ever been past. I don't think I've been to the back room that I know of.
Okay, so
I've only been to the main eating area and then the patio.
That's where we were, and they had sectioned off part of the patio as well. So you go right out the door, and then part of it was just ours.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 beers, one of which the bartender paid for. The other 2 were paid for by the company. So, props to you, bartender.
Why did he pay for it?
She probably had 15 years on me. Not that that's saying anything. But I was feeling all right. You know, if she's willing to, I'm like, all right, you know, I still got it here. You know, brush off a shoulder a little bit, walk away. Anyway, coconut shrimp was one of them. Big shrimp. Big.
Coconut.
So here's the problem, right? I love coconut and I love shrimp. Together? No. Nope, I'm out.
I hate coconut so much.
I can eat shredded coconut by the handful.
You fucking disgust me.
The
devil's fruit.
And I could sit there and eat shrimp by the ring. And just gone. Wouldn't even think twice.
All right, so what else did you have?
There were oysters, but oyster was something that turned me off from it. I can't remember what it was. Or maybe it was clams. Whatever it was. But there was it was something on them that turned me away from it. I can't remember what it was. Then there were like prime rib balls.
Okay.
We're going to get into a ball discussion again. There was another type of ball that I can't remember what that one was. There was prosciutto.
Yeah.
And prosciutto?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 different things. They're so damn close, fucking Italians. Yes, hard toast. And then the other one was wrapped around like a piece of lettuce. And they gave us like it wasn't honey mustard, but it was, I don't know, honey ranch, I don't know, dipping to have that with.
Mm-hmm.
Scallops. They had a cauliflower, like fried cauliflower thing that tasted like chicken. I think it was sesame cauliflower, like sesame chicken, but it tasted like sesame chicken. It was weird. But I mean, it was good. It was good. It was a good time to hang out.
Yeah.
There might have been other things, but now I'm forgetting.
It's nice that you didn't have to pay for it. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, I didn't pay for a thing. That's the only reason I would have gone. The only way I'm going now is I have to find the right person and be like, you are worth me paying this.
So with Ocean Blue, there's 2 good times there's the lunch hour. That's a good time to go.
Okay.
They do a thing, I think, every once in a while, like once a week or something like that, where they'll do like an oyster deal if you're into oysters during like the afternoon. Or if you're like going for genuinely good company, because like that shit's so expensive. And like it's not, I don't want to say it's so expensive because I mean good restaurants are expensive.
Yeah, good restaurants experiences are costly. It's just what it is.
I think that they're not necessarily, their food isn't necessarily as good as they're asking for the price.
I can understand that, yeah. Even with what I tasted, I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, but their whole shtick was the oysters. The oysters are great and they're cool because you try all these type of oysters.
Right.
Yeah, just expensive.
Yeah, like I said, if it was a group outing or something, it'd be one thing. If it's more going to take, like, if I'm going to go there with somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
it either better be like high business decision or a celebratory thing,
Yeah.
or I must clearly like that person because I'm willing to pay that much.
Yeah.
And my luck, they won't understand that, and I'll have to go through the whole explaining everything. It's just like, oh god.
No, I've been there a couple times, and it's never been like a bad experience. I had a whiskey smash there, which was really
what I'm
good.
not going to have that.
Oh yeah, you don't like whiskey, do you?
Well, my body rejects it immediately.
Yeah. They have Did you get to look at Did they have the menus out for you guys or no?
Like the actual menus?
Yeah.
No.
They have a drink menu. You probably saw that. And it
We
has
saw-
like a
we
bunch
saw
of different like mixed drinks and stuff.
We saw a drink menu, but I stopped looking at it after she said, and your list stops there.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And I didn't look any further down. I was like, whatever you say is about to be free, that's the only spot I'm concerned with.
So it's like rough going there because like unless you go there all the time and you know what everything is, it's like
It's one of them.
Yeah,
Where you see
so,
the
like-
name and you're like, I don't know what that is.
yeah, exactly. So like, we were going through the drink menu and I had to have that, which their people are very knowledgeable, which is nice. But I had to have like the guy like explain everything to me, and I was just like, just give me something good. He's like, my favorite drink's a whiskey smash. I'm gonna get you one. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
I also love bartenders. And not that, I'm pretty sure that was your waiter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love being able, like, I've done it every time pretty much that I've gone to Boston. And I think I did it in I didn't do it in Texas last time. Where did I do it? But I've done it in other bars where I think I did it in Rochester, where I'll talk to the waiter, waitress, or bartender, and I'll be like, "Oh, so what do you want?" And I'm like, "I don't know. What do you like? Narrow something down for me. Like, I literally don't care. Oh, well, this. Go for it. Even if I don't like it, I'm buying something else. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
the best case that has ever happened is we were in Boston in that pizza bar. I don't know if I've told that story on here before. And the bartender behind the counter is like, "Oh, so what do you want?" And I'm just staring at the tap. There's maybe 7 things on tap, 7 or 8. And I'm just looking at them. I've never heard of any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, I don't even want to go through, like, hassle you with the asking of, like, what all of these are. And she's like, "Do you want to try every one of them?" And I went, "Yes, I do." So she grabbed a tumbler, half filled it with every single one of them.
Yeah.
And then so which one do you want?
Like a flight, basically.
Like the biggest flight I've ever had, because it was essentially a double flight. And I didn't pay for it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Her boyfriend works security at TD Garden. It was a fun time.
All right.
So, in terms of last time, I feel like we had a lot of... I don't know. He probably used the bathroom. He's insane.
Cats.
We talked a lot about nothing and much ado about nothing.
There's a... Never mind. Not going to get into it. Go ahead.
What?
Much Ado About Nothing.
Yes,
There's
I know. I know the reference I made.
The modern adaptation of it by
Oh, God.
Josh Whedon.
That's...
It was... He did it... he filmed it, I think, over the course of a weekend with basically his friends. But, obviously he has...
Oh, yeah, he's
a
got
ton of actor friends and stuff. So like Nathan Fillion's in it. And
yeah, it's weird.
Like
It's almost like it's not, it's not me and you filming
exactly.
a Midsummer Night's Dream.
And it's all in black and white. So
Instagram filters, these plebs.
Yeah. So if you are a fan of Shakespeare, it's really a good watch.
We should do Midsummer Night's Dream and then send it to them and be like, and you think you guys were good. And then just hide my embarrassment. All right. So I pulled some fun stuff because I feel like I got some categories you can choose from.
Okay.
Category 1 is political news. I know. There's only 2 things in that.
Yeah.
And then we can get out of that category. Sports news,
Okay.
entertainment,
Okay.
or a segment called Real versus Fake.
Let's start Let's do entertainment. No. Yeah, let's do entertainment.
All right, entertainment. Dark Phoenix trailer we talked about last week.
Yep.
So that eliminates that one on there. I had written this up before we had.
Oh, okay. All right.
I had written this up last night of just like kind of mentioning some stuff before.
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't write this up since you've been here. That'd be insane. The next one on that list is just a headline I saw. Nicki Minaj and Lewis Hamilton.
I can see it.
I just thought that was interesting. There's nothing really much to talk about there. There's more when we reach sports, probably.
Yeah,
but
there's been a lot of discussion. Like, I can't really speak about Nicki Minaj because, like, that's just not Lewis Hamilton. I can talk about.
Nicki Minaj. The only thing I can say is that for some reason she was in a Madden trailer.
Oh yeah,
I have no idea
and
why.
Little Dicky was in it too.
Yeah,
for like 2 seconds in a little corner. Lewis Hamilton. There's been a lot of discussion lately about his mental approach because, like, Formula One. With the drivers, they talk a lot about like their mental stability and like and that type of thing. And Lewis Hamilton, more than it's apparent more than other drivers that when he gets into a funk,
you can tell.
You can tell. Like his performance is so good, you know, when he's good, and so bad when he's bad that like it's easy to notice. And like he gets a lot of criticism because people say he doesn't focus on racing enough and he does so many other things and like he's out socializing and he has a bunch of different other projects going on and blah, blah, blah. And it's funny that you should say that because recently he made a comment basically that's like, I have issues when I focus on racing too much. He's like, I've noticed that I perform best when I literally try to keep my mind busy doing other things and I don't focus on racing as much because he's like, I basically overthink everything.
Right.
So that's interesting. It's a nice little beam of light into, the murkiness of
Lewis Hamilton. It is a,
I don't know if there's a video that went viral, like maybe 2 years ago. Of like a dude sneaking up on a tiger.
Maybe.
Well, the funny thing was that video was Lewis Hamilton.
Oh.
And I don't know, like I think he was friends with someone who like had exotic animals or something like that.
Of course.
Something.
Mike Tyson.
Like, he genuinely like is sneaking up on a tiger and scares the tiger. Like, cause that's a fucking good idea.
Yeah. But hey, if you can keep your mind off racing.
Can't
overthink scaring a tiger.
All right, what's up? What's next? What else do you want to talk about?
Joaquin
Phoenix.
Or as I wrote, Joker Phoenix. I think it's definitely going to be in Heath's portrayal style. Dark Joker. I don't think it's going to be Happy Joker. I think we get Dark Joker.
And
it's not Pimp Joker.
Between recordings here, I just watched a video on I don't know if it's on set or what, but they called it was principal photography basically.
Yeah. Director's been releasing some stuff.
It was him like in a payphone box. What are they called?
Booth.
Phone booth. What are they called?
He was in a payphone box. For all you youngins, he doesn't fit in a payphone box.
So he was in a phone booth, and it was just really awkward. He obviously had like a clown costume on. And he was on
like a clown costume on?
Yeah, like a full-on clown costume.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then like all you see is like the camera's probably 20 feet away, 15 feet away from this phone booth. He's on the phone, and then like you can tell he got like bad news or something like that. And he like just puts his head on the glass, and like it was like really weird.
Like sad or disappointed?
Both.
Okay, because I can picture it being that he's checking the status of a job or something. And
yeah,
like,
that was the distinct feeling I got.
And they're like, oh, so-and-so showed up. And he's just like, son of a bitch, this just got harder.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm really curious about this.
I'm still intrigued. I want to see a full trailer.
Yeah.
Then I'll pass true judgment. But
who's directing it?
I don't remember.
Oh, well.
It wasn't a name I recognized.
Yeah.
I'll go back one because I was technically up on the list, but I didn't list these in any order really. I guess I just was spitting things off the top of my head.
What'd you think of the Oktoberfest?
Oh, that one?
Yeah, I left them here specifically so that you drink them.
I didn't drink any beer this week. I will. I did like them, but I didn't drink any even of my Oktoberfest that I had before. But no, they were good. It was definitely it was everything we said before, where it was lighter.
Yeah.
It was more earthy.
Yeah. I think it's a little like a little bit more drinkable than other stuff.
Kind of. I can see that. I don't know if it's necessarily more drinkable than the Sam one.
See, for me, the Sam Adams was a little too sweet.
Okay,
Like a little too malty.
I can see that. Yeah, that was all right.
Just barely. Like
Yeah.
that's just nitpicking.
Just keep fucking with my mic. The other one, or two, there's two more in the entertainment section that I had.
Okay,
One of them is, why is British TV so much better than American TV?
dude.
And
Can I say-
specifically referencing Channel 4 and like the game shows they play.
So basically, part of the reason why I haven't played any video games
YouTube.
is because our routine lately is we get home, we do the chorey stuff, we make dinner, and then once dinner's made, we go in the living room, eat dinner, and like literally the rest of the night, all we do is watch the Big Fat Quiz of Everything.
Yeah, because the Big Fat Quiz of Everything is awesome.
And like Samantha loves it, I love it. It's great. I started watching the British Bake Off because it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
Watching 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's always up there. Would I Lie to You?
Yeah.
Also up there. Like
What kills me is like
their panel shows are so good
mm-hmm.
that whenever I try to turn on like network stations here, I can't watch it.
There's nothing good here. I don't know.
I mean, they would call me un-American, but you need to culture yourselves, people. It's better. There's a fourth one?
That's what I said when I looked over.
We just saw a headline that said Toy Story 4, Tim Allen couldn't even get through the last scene. I bet you Woody dies. Or Andy's dead. Andy's dead. That's what it is. Because Woody's immortal. Andy dies. It's old Andy.
Wow.
That's why he can't get through the last scene. Andy gets hit by a car.
Jesus.
He's in the hospital. And it's a cliffhanger for Toy Story 5. If any of that's true, I'm sorry.
Spoilers.
But, it's so much better. I mean, it might be better because we're watching on YouTube, but there's no like censoring. They just go at it.
Yeah,
it's all comedians that are just having fun and still playing a game.
I like their humor more too. Like I don't know. I feel like their humor is a little bit different than what we like are used to.
I feel like their humor is more in your face referencey.
Yeah.
Than ours, which is usually, unless you're on like Comedy Central or in your own stand-up or something, you're tiptoeing lines all the time.
Yeah.
Where they're just out there like, no, haha, your mom. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, you just dropped a your mom joke on cable television. All right. That wasn't even close. Like the one I was watching on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, he says something about how it looks the same at both ends, which can be said about your mom. And then he just continues on, and they're like, he said it. All right, we're moving on.
And it's like self-deprecating, but also they rip on each other.
Yeah,
really
like he's
hard,
making fun of his tax evasion the entire time.
Dude, that was
Jimmy Carr.
So good.
Just get yourself a good guy that knows how to keep the numbers away from people. And it's just like, talks about how he has the new teeth of the pearly whites and all that. It's just them ripping on each other the entire. It's a fun time.
It's good. It's good stuff.
The last one I had in entertainment was theories for episode 9 of the good and old Star Wars.
I've honestly, I've stayed away from all the Star Wars news.
So have I. I've stayed away from any of the news, and I know we've kind of discussed it before here and there. But I feel like we're potentially setting up for some shit.
I don't know. I don't have any theories at all, really.
I don't really have any theories at all until we actually see a trailer.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a lot of skepticism on. But the part of, I guess, what kind of brought this up is I was looking at a solid meme the other day. And they're discussing how, there's 10,000 Jedi, but there's always only 2 Sith, which is weird. But then if you go by that math, who's the second one?
There must always be two.
There must always be two. So
Well,
if he kills Snoke,
yeah.
who's his apprentice?
Yeah, he's got to have an apprentice.
Which the idea would be that he kept trying to make Rey his apprentice. But was he? Yada, yada. I like the Finn. Rey can passively use it like Leia can via Finn kind of idea there. That was interesting.
I don't know. Like the thing that's weird to me is I'm trying to think of where Empire Strike Back was at the end. He lost his hand.
If a hand gets cut off in episode 9, I quit.
It's hard for me to picture.
That's all I'm saying. If we're in the first 30 minutes and a hand gets cut off, I am just going to look over at you in the theater and go,
I'm out.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's hard for me to picture them wrapping everything up cleanly in
one
movie.
That's the part where I'm like, there's so many loose ends. Unless we're in that theater for 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's going to be a long.
You are pushing episode 10 out of this. What if they what if they say it's episode 9 part 1 and part 2?
I mean, honestly, that's what I'm kind of thinking, because it's hard for me to think that they can wrap up everything neatly and still give you a rewarding, like still feel fulfilled.
Right. Yeah.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm so like indifferent to Star Wars now. Like I haven't even watched.
I haven't watched Solo.
I haven't watched Solo.
I haven't watched 8 since we saw it.
Same. I tried watching it on Netflix, and I got to like where I got to like where Luke's like Rey's following Luke through the island as he's like doing his routine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, I can't watch this. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
There were so many moments in that movie where I was just like, haha, oh, why is that? All right.
I don't know. And then, I mean, there was the news the other day that they're going to start slowing down production because they feel like they went too fast. And then today, just now, before when I first got here, the Kathleen Kennedy, who is like the head of Star Wars basically at the moment.
Right.
They renewed her for like I don't know, another 3 years or something. like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I think that honestly, I think she's part of the problem.
Probably, yeah. I mean, you're probably not too far off on that one, but it's just one of those where it's like we'll see how after 9 what they do.
It's unfortunate because I love Star Wars and stuff like that. And
right.
I was so invested into it, but it's killed. I don't want to say it's killed. They've killed it for me, but like I'm very detached now.
Right. I loved it. Not as much as you do. You read way more than I did and everything. But it was what we talked about when they said they were doing these.
Yeah.
And I said we both agreed, you're going to do too much too quick.
Yeah.
You're going to try to saturate the market and you're going to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just kind of like we're teetering on that moment. And Solo was almost the straw.
Yeah.
So 9 needs to recover, and then there needs to be a pause, which we discussed this after 8 in the lobby there when we're talking about, was it Rian Johnson was signed up for 3 more already or something like that?
Yeah, he had his own trilogy.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not good.
So there's, last I knew, which I don't know if they've openly canceled some of these projects or what, but there was the Rian Johnson trilogy. There was a TV show. There was the animated series are happening. They're there.
Clone, right?
Clone Wars and the Resistance.
Oh, I forget about the
Star
Resistance.
Wars Resistance and the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So outside of them, there's another TV show. There's the Rian Johnson trilogy, and then there was another standalone movie, I think, planned.
Right. I think there was supposed to be a third one that people kept clamoring for Obi-Wan.
That's the one they should have led with, I think, is the Obi-Wan standalone.
I think Rogue One was fine.
No,
but after that,
Rogue
I don't think Han should have been their first one in terms of focusing on a character.
Rogue One, good. Even Episode 7, good.
Yep.
Episode 8, bad. Solo, I'm assuming is bad. Critically, it didn't do as well as they wanted to, but
And I think the Star Wars community didn't do as well as they wanted it to.
they should have done Obi-Wan. And I have this conversation with people all the time. Like, if they would have just done an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie with Ewan McGregor, the fan base would have been ravenous about it.
They couldn't do wrong.
Yeah, they literally couldn't. They could have made it like just a cliche fucking.
It could have been episode 1, and they would
could have been
like
a cliche like fucking Tatooine Western, and people would have been like, "This is the best thing ever." Like, it could have been like fucking
the last ride,
the good, the bad, and the ugly with fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. And people would have been fucking like fapping in the theaters to it.
Oh yeah, all the stuff all the memes that would have come out of that. Yeah.
But no, they had picked like the worst character to do a standalone movie of. Everyone, when you say Han Solo, everyone immediately thinks of Harrison Ford. Like you can't.
Yep.
It's so hard to break that.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but like don't fucking lead with that. Like oh my god.
No, keep your established and then break away.
It's the same reason why Marvel didn't fucking have Doctor fucking Strange in Phase 1 or like Black Panther in Phase 1 because like those movies on their own are a stretch. They need a universe to hold them up.
Right, which is the same thing with Spider-Man. Like that's why they brought Iron Man into Spider-Man. Like
Iron Man can stand on his own 2 feet, obviously.
Right.
So it's like you need to have something. Nice one. Nice one. All right, moving on. We're going to end it with that one.
All right, so that takes us out of entertainment.
All right, what are we into now? What do you want?
So you got sports, politics, and real versus fake.
You pick.
Politics.
Okay.
Because I want to get it out of the way.
I was trying to get into a good mood before we brought up politics.
That's why I want to do this because I can recover it with the other two.
Okay.
There's only 2 things I want to discuss.
Okay.
And I don't even want to really discuss them because I don't want to get into where we can get. The first one is the Kavanaugh hearing.
Okay.
I don't know what the status of it was. I know there was a bunch of people watching TVs.
I just want to slap the chair and be like, "Let me tell you."
I know there was a bunch of people watching TVs at work because
work
loves to tune into Fox News, and I just want to blow my brains out. But that being said, if they had it all tuned to CNN too, I'd probably blow my brains out. But
it's a no-win situation.
Basically, if the news is on, I blow my brains out.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch HGTV and then somebody tell me later what's happening.
Which is the approach that I go with. Samantha,
listen, I can watch Shiplap all day. That's all I'm saying.
Samantha texted me.
Look at this room.
The day of Dr. Ford's testimony, the woman.
I totally wanted to just make Westworld jokes. Can you hit control?
Yeah.
Yes,
I had that day off.
Ford was building robots and sending them into the valley. Yeah. Wrong doctor. Anyway.
I had the day off, so Samantha texted me and was like, "Hey, are you watching the testimony?" And I responded with no, because honestly, it'll make me feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to watch a bunch of old men question this woman about her sexual assault.
I do believe there was one woman that questioned her. I believe I saw that moment.
There was, and what I read was that the first thing she says, one of the other men interrupted her while she was speaking.
Love it.
Which I was just like, great guy, good job, guys. You have a moment here that you could put a good foot forward and set an example for.
I'm going to let you finish
the rest of the country.
But Trump had the best rape story of all here. Go ahead, continue.
That's basically it right there. No, so that's just how I've followed it. I've been following it enough, but I don't want to get into the detail. I didn't want to get into the details on it.
I've done enough to go, all right, I can have a mild conversation about this.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as I want to go with it, because as much as I can continue to have a deep conversation, I don't need that person that I'm having that conversation with to just dive off the deep end and then me just not want to be there anymore.
That's the dangerous part of politics, right there.
Right, which is why we can do it with the two of us.
Yeah.
And then everybody that's listening to this can start screaming their lungs out.
Yeah.
We can't hear them, so I don't care.
So my takeaway from it, though, is that in a roundabout way, we've gotten to the point to where we need to be. So, like, the status at the moment,
kind of.
I don't know if the status right now is the nomination or the committee is moving the vote to the Senate inside of in a week, essentially.
Right.
They're giving the FBI a week to reinvestigate, essentially, hit the accusations. Which that's where we needed to be, basically, but
yeah,
people wanted to fight about it. So
that's all we do. We get a bunch of old men in a room and we fight.
The questions, the frustrating part is going to be
that nobody under 60 is in Congress.
The frustrating part is the FBI is probably going to do this investigation, and then everyone who's voting is going to ignore it, and they're going to vote the way that they were going to vote to begin with.
They're going to vote based on how much money is in their pockets, the same way this country has always been voted on.
Yeah. So
capitalism, baby.
The two interesting parts to get into the little bit of the nitty gritty with the Supreme Court pick is obviously the Republican Party wants to rush the nomination through and get them on the Supreme Court.
Right. They need their seat.
Because midterms are coming up.
Yep.
And it's expected. I don't know. I haven't really looked at any broad polls on this, but I have the feeling that, like, the tides seem, or the undercurrents seem to suggest that everything's going to be Democrat.
A lot that I've seen in terms of browsing, just randomness and it being, passerby things.
Yeah.
Stuff's getting flipped.
Yes.
We go in blue.
So
heaven forbid that didn't work out. Who would have thought? Oh. Not to say that the other one would have worked out any better. Let's just be completely honest. It almost could have potentially ended up worse in 4 years if she had gotten in. Because I'm not going to get into that complete, butterfly effect thing, but she gets in, then what they thought was the worst right candidate they could put up didn't win, but she won. So let's put even a worse right candidate to try to.
That's the scary part. And
let's race to the bottom.
The other interesting part is apparently in October the Supreme Court is going to hear a case on the legality of states. How was it worded? It was like the legality of states prosecuting presidents for breaking the law.
Can't wait till that one doesn't go well.
Which is, why would the Republicans want to get a Supreme Court pick on, for that one,
Yeah. Weird. It's almost like maybe if the judiciary branch actually checked its fucking balances, we wouldn't have to have the states do it because the government itself would just go, this is a problem. Let's be functional. Oh, wait, I'm going to take 9,000 years to push anything through. Suck it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sad state of affairs.
The other part that I was going to mention was the UN laughing at Trump.
Dude, that was fucking classic.
That was, when I saw that headline, I went, there's no way. I was like, this is an onion bait click. I clicked on it. Oh, no, it happened. Yeah. And, of course, his beautiful spin was, they were laughing with me, not at me. I was like, did you realize what you said? You don't win even. So the only part that I have a problem with there, like, even if you say they were laughing with you, that means you are making a joke of what you were saying. So you, instead of being laughed at, have now said, I admit that everything I just said about my successes and champions in this presidential term is a joke. And they have laughed with me in the joke that is me.
The joke is on all of us right now.
You've admitted to being the joke now. If you hadn't said anything and said, I don't know why they were laughing at me, then you could at least still pretend like you're not the joke. But no, now you've said, yeah, I'm the joke. It's a good time. Haha. Zing, folks. Bang, bang. What the hell was that?
It's Snapchat.
Oh. But yeah, that was the part I found funny out of that whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Just when I originally saw it, I was like just kind of depressed because I'm like, oh, like no one likes us anymore. Like And it's not.
I don't even think it was
know.
that people don't like us anymore. I think that we are now just
We're the laughing
hysterical.
stock. Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost the like, oh, they think they're gonna do something that's cute.
Yeah. Well,
We have done the most impressive thing. Like,
how long is it gonna take us to recover from this, though? Like on the world stage?
a war
You think it's just gonna
with
be
not him in office.
a straight up?
It would take like a FDR situation. We're going to war, domination style, like save the world situation, like Hitler 2.0. We got this. Bang bang. We done this once before. Japan, you remember? What's up? Let's go. And it's just like
it's just gonna be like no. It'll have to be something like we come up with. Would literally have to save the world. It'd have to be like
we cure cancer.
That or like
or
we
AIDS.
solve the problem of pollution and global warming, like and climate change.
Yeah, we're not doing that. That's Japan.
Did you see their fucking?
I had a really bad slavery joke, so go on.
Did you see Japan's like kick-ass fucking rovers they sent to the asteroid?
Yeah, did you see the picture that came back from it?
Yeah, dude, those things are badass. They're like jumping in the air to avoid obstacles and
Yeah,
stuff. They're
it's
like,
basically this robot cameras from Rainbow Six Siege,
Oh my god, dude, that's
just
so
on a bigger
cool.
scale.
That is so cool. Why don't we do shit like
was
that?
it Watch Dogs 2? I think had them too. Because we defunded that because we don't believe in science. As according to North Carolina, who made it at some point, I think,
Speaking of
not required to use climate indicators about how to zone things.
oh yeah.
And then a hurricane showed up as if God said, good fucking luck, and then just blew everything away.
I smite thee.
Yeah, they literally like, we will tempt the fates of God. And he's like, good try, because I'm a spin in my hurricane.
So speaking of defunding
Which is funny
NASA
coming from me, who's an agnostic technically. But anyway.
and spending more money on the military, a couple hours ago, an F-35 crashed for the first time.
Oh,
That's the new expensive fighter.
yeah. Probably the one that cost like $14 million.
Oh, that's like you better make that M a B.
Sorry. let me doctor you it up there. $14 billion.
Yeah,
Billion.
Thought that was fun.
1 million. You better add zeros. That's really not that much anymore.
$1 million. All right, what's next? What we got next?
You want to do sports news or real versus fake?
What?
Let's
Let's do real versus fake.
Sports news sounds like a good answer. You're right. We should do
Okay,
sports
we'll do
news.
sports news.
I want to save that one because that's like
I figured. I wasn't sure though.
that's the juice one. It's the one that I actually have stuff written on.
Oh.
The other ones are just like things. Sports news. The first thing I wrote was F1 stuff. Is there anything happening in the F1 world
It's still silly season.
we can talk about? Silly season.
Dude, the driver lineups are all over the place. The American team Haas, they kept their drivers, which people didn't think they were going to do. So they
Interesting.
did that, which kind of messes up everything else.
Well, of course, but I mean that pretty much has been the last month that you've talked about F1 with me,
Dude,
where
it's
it's
a
like,
mess. I don't even know where to start because
oh yeah,
everything's
this
so
one thing,
different
this
now.
one thing's gonna happen, and then oh no, that didn't happen, so now everybody else is changing all their plans,
Yeah, it's a mess.
and then these guys out of left field signed this guy, and you're like,
they've been showing off renderings of the new spec of cars for 2021, I think, or 2020. One of those 2 years, they're changing the spec of the cars. They look pretty cool.
yeah,
Very simple design. Like it's not very simple, but some parts of it are going to a more simple design, and the wheels are getting bigger on the tire.
I'm all about big wheels,
Going to like a more
like
low
drag
profile.
race wheels.
Ooh. Not big meaty ones,
Oh,
but
all
like
right.
but more of a low profile tire.
Oh, that's less of a tire.
Yeah, so less tire, bigger wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Matthew.
Yeah. So they look nice. Hopefully they're fast. Hopefully they Racewell.
Don't kill someone. Oh, Ricewell, yeah.
Still have the halo. Still going. With
All about those halos. You got to save those domes.
domes.
Pew pew.
Pew pew lasers. That's it for Formula One.
I think
Not
that's a
new, though.
knife party song. The other one, I mean, we can talk Ryder Cup if you wanted to.
I know what's going on, but I haven't read
In
anything
case you're
about it.
curious, EU 4-0'd the US today.
Oh wow, I feel like that's common though.
They
Lately.
the US started off fine and then got 4-0'd. Like they were playing well, then they lost the lead, and then they lost everything.
Why do we suck at so much stuff?
Yeah. A few things we have really well. The NFL.
Yeah, well,
Depends on how you look at it. We're still number one. NASCAR,
true.
still number one. Hockey, kind of not really number one. We're like top 5.
Yeah, I mean Canada's probably got some.
Russia.
Yeah, Russia's good.
Baseball, top 2. I mean, depends on how you want to look at it. If you look at the leagues, we're number 1. If you look at it from a country playing standpoint, we're like 10.
That's sad.
South America, man. Specifically Central America.
Really?
Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba.
I know Cuba.
But I mean there's a league situation.
No, it's like players,
Major
right?
Major League Baseball is the best league in the world.
Yeah, I know
for
that like
baseball.
Japan's got a lot of good players.
But Japan's talent,
and I know
Dominican Republic is disgusting.
I didn't know that. I know. I keep wanting. I know Cuba.
That's why they jump out of Cuba into
Yeah.
the rafts. They swim to Key West.
Yeah.
They try to gain
I've
citizenship.
heard
They
that.
lie about all their ages. Then we find out 30 years later that Miguel Tejada says he's 37 when he turns out he's 45.
Jesus.
It wasn't. I don't know if it was that bad, but it was. He lied about his age. He was older than he said he was. That's always what the joke is with a Little League World Series too, where you have a 6'5" kid. He's like, I'm 13. You're like,
Okay, buddy.
what? That being said, I played against a kid. I think that was 6'1", and we were 13 or 14.
God.
He was a big kid. He played for New York Mills.
Jesus.
And then I played against a 6'10" kid in high school. Went to Rome Catholic.
How are these motherfuckers playing baseball? Like, how are they coordinated enough to even pick up a baseball?
I don't know. It's probably
6'10".
easier than trying to be more coordinated to do other things.
6'10".
I mean, the joke would be like, "Oh, do you play basketball?" I mean, that's always the height joke. So those are the two. The other two are more, I guess, kind of geared towards me.
Yeah, what are they?
If you have questions about them, I will answer them. Otherwise, we can move on to the other segment.
What are they? Yeah, what are they?
Baseball stuff,
Okay.
meaning hope versus reality because we reach playoff time, and award predictions.
Dude, I don't understand. Like, baseball seasons are fucking whack, man. There's like, what, 160 games or something?
162.
I was close, damn. Like, how's that even fucking work? Is there a point to the regular season?
So yeah, you play 162 games to get a record. Then that record.
So what's the
Playoffs.
percentage? Like, do all the teams start off in playoff, or is it like you have to have a certain record?
There are only technically 3, 4, 5, 10 teams in the playoffs.
out of how many regular season teams?
30.
30.
And
There's
2
30
and
baseball
4
teams.
Yeah. And 4 of those
I don't.
teams
Okay.
are taking place in a 1-game playoff. So then it will be immediately down to 8. The way they redid it a couple years ago is they made 2 wild card slots on each side rather than just be 1. So it used to
Okay.
be 8, and they wanted to up it to give it more exposure, so they went to 10.
All right. So what's the expectations for or hope versus reality part of it?
Hope versus reality is Yankees win the World Series.
Reality is they're gonna.
They're probably not.
I feel like they've just been losing games.
So
Right? Is that correct?
You're pretty right. So the problem is they're one of the teams in a 1-game playoff. Next Wednesday, they will be playing the Athletics. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. Winner has to face the number 1 seed Boston Red Sox.
Get wrecked.
Loser gets to take time off and see you next summer.
Get wrecked. Oh, it's
I will never be amazed at the Amish coming by when it's pitch black out.
dude. I don't get. Dude,
11 o'clock at night. Do you want to die?
they don't fuck around, man. Those people
Sometimes when they're doing this, I think all they're doing is fucking around. What are you doing?
could be.
They probably left wherever they were 7 hours ago. Anyway. Yeah, hope World Series. Reality, I have probably win the wild card game. Then play the Red Sox and probably get eliminated by the Red Sox.
Who do you think?
Which hurts because I don't want that to happen. I want them to beat the Red Sox
or whatever. Objectively, who's your money on
to win everything.
Yes,
it would be a cheat to say the Red Sox.
I mean, if that's who you genuinely think
they're the number one seed in baseball.
Well, I guess then naturally they
They
objectively
are objectively the best team. If I had to say, what do I think the World Series would be? God, I would love to see them get knocked out, but I don't want. I'll say, objectively, would be the Red Sox versus the Cubs.
Okay.
Hopefully, it's the Yankees versus the Brewers.
Is the Brewers like the worst team?
No, but I would just feel like that would be a fun series.
Okay. All right.
I think the Brewers would put up a really good challenge to them, and nobody would expect it. And even like if the Yankees got there, it would be a shock. But everybody could also just be like, "Well, it's the Yankees." So
yeah,
it's kind of
what
it's
kind of
a
sucks
50-50
about the
thing.
Yankees is like
Yeah, it's great being a fan of the evil empire, but it's also awful being a fan of the evil empire.
yeah, because no matter what you do, you don't get any recognition.
Yeah, no, I can't win.
Yeah,
Even if I win, I can't win.
yeah.
The funny thing is specifically in reference to what happened last night. They're playing in Tampa Bay.
Have you ever gone to like a diehard like Yankees bar and like watch the game?
No, because if I wanted to go to a diehard Yankees bar, I might as well go to the stadium. Yeah, for what my thought is, because like a diehard Yankees bar, I'm in New York City,
Yeah,
and at that point, I'm just gonna go to the stadium. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I feel like if you went to a diehard Yankees bar, like you'll know for a fact that everyone there is a hardcore Yankees fan. But if you go to the stadium, you might get a lot of people who are just like, "I'm here to see a baseball game."
depending on the time of year you go, yeah. Like if I was to go on Wednesday in the wild card game, that place is gonna be thumping. And it's not going to be people going like, I'm here to see a baseball game, because those tickets, one, are not cheap, and two, you are there to shake that place. And they did it last year. They shook that house.
How much are tickets, do you think?
Probably the cheapest one for next week. The cheapest one, normally you can probably get like cheap seats, like really cheap seats for, I don't know, $20 to $50.
Yeah.
I'm talking like nosebleeds though. Those are probably up over $100 to $200 because you're starting to play off time.
Yeah, naturally, it just
Yeah.
gets more expensive.
Yeah. And it's also Wednesday. I leave on Thursday. I'm not doing that.
Well, yeah, obviously, I'm just
But I did
hypothetical.
think about it. I was like, do I just stay up all night, drive back, get on the plane, and leave?
You're getting too old
Really,
for that.
really bad idea because I would be dead. I would pass out, wake up by the flight attendant saying like, hey, you need to leave. Then I'd walk out into the airport, realize I have a 45-minute layover, get to wherever the gate I needed to be, and then fall asleep again and miss my flight. And I'd be like, well.
That'd be great.
What happened last night in baseball was one of the more entertaining things, and also the shitty thing if you're reading comments and stuff about people that think they know the game but don't, have opinions that are not fact-based at all, which I guess technically is the definition of an opinion, but there's no basis behind the opinion. It's just like, oh, they're angry about something, so that's their opinion. It's not an opinion. It's lazy. It's weak. And then it's also kind of what happens with media that doesn't report things correctly. Kind of. So last night, Yankees pitcher CC Sabathia hit a Rays player in the hand, like I think on the knuckles. Not on purpose. You can pretty much tell like he didn't mean to do it. Like the they're already up substantially at whatever point. Well, then later, the Rays pitcher walks out onto the mound and throws at the head pretty much of the Yankees catcher.
Purposefully, or
yeah, pretty much. Like his player got hit, so he's coming back, which I never have a problem with. If your player gets hit and you want to send a message, you can throw at the other guy, but you throw waist down. You aim for like a thigh, and you
that's
just
so childish, though. Especially
Right,
if it
but
was
it's-
obviously an accident.
right. But it's what happens in baseball, especially not. The funny thing is not in this series because whatever, but like in a Yankees Red Sox series, if you ever got hit, you hit the other person. It's just how it goes. But my thing with hitting people on purpose, thigh and below. Don't injure them. You're there to send a message, plunk them, give them a nice, bruise, Charlie horse, whatever. They're still going to go down to first. Stay away from faces. Stay away from like hands and stuff.
I feel like if you throw at someone's head, that should immediately be like
Right.
thrown from the game or something.
So what happens then is the umpire does not warn anybody, which normally that can be what happens. Okay, he threw at him. Warning, warning. Next person do anything, I'm tossing you.
yeah.
So no one does anything. Catcher just kind of, is angry, but he continues that bat. The pitcher, CC, is now standing at the top step of the dugout and like ready to go fight somebody because you don't throw at my catcher, especially at the head. Like now we're just going to get angry. Now we're going to come after you.
Mm-hmm.
So next inning out, he takes the mound. First pitch beams their catcher in the thigh.
Do catchers always hit first?
No, it was like the sixth inning.
Okay. So
And the only reason he was hitting him is because you hit my catcher, I'm hitting yours. Or you
Okay.
threw at my catcher, I'm hitting yours.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Yankees, by the way, are up 11-0.
Okay.
The one behind the catcher's head, they're up 11-0 and he's throwing at the catcher's head.
Yeah.
You're losing 11-0. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So then CC walks out, beams their catcher. He's, walking down to first. Tosses CC immediately. And then CC looks over into the Rays dugout and says, "That one's for you, bitch." To somebody in the dugout. We don't know who it was. And then walks off the field, waiting for them to keep talking and,
Yeah.
are we going to get into a tense situation? And the highlights of it are pretty good. I'll show you after. But one of the guys on the Rays bench, it's Blake Snell, who is a great pitcher, but I don't know why he's doing this, is going, "It's 11-0. Why are you doing that?" And it's like, "You're right. Why'd you throw at my catcher? Of course I'm going to hit you." What? That part I never, he's like, "It's 11-0. Yeah, I'd hit you too if you threw at my catcher. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to throw at my guy's head, I'm going to hit you. But at
he
least,
escalated the situation.
but at least I'll have the decency to not throw at your guy's head." And I think the coach on the Rays manages something like, "That's a bunch of bullshit" or something like that. Like he just mumbles it. And I'm like, "You had your..." Well, he might not have... That's the other thing, too. The manager might not have told his pitcher to do that. Pitcher might have just done it.
Yeah.
And maybe the entire thing was an accident. But the way that it, body language-wise and looks-wise and everything, was not an accident. He meant to do it. And then there's a moment where Aaron Judge, the Yankees right fielder, who is 6'8", I think, 6'9", big boy, is standing the way the Rays field is. You know how normally a bullpen is like behind the outfield?
Yeah.
But there's some bullpens, sometimes they're on like the side. That's the way the Rays are. The bullpen's on the side. So now their entire bullpen is like standing up near the foul line. And Judge is now standing over near them. And he is bigger than every single one of those guys. And it's like, even if you try to fight him, you're not making it past him before he puts half of you on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's, oh no. You're almost worse than Max right there.
That's close.
Yeah, it was. The joke there was, we have some of the biggest guys in baseball, and you want to try to start a fight? Not a good idea. If you ever walked out, you would get demolished. But then it was a lot of like, when CC hit that guy and got tossed, he was, I think, an inning or 2 innings away from reaching an innings goal for the year on his contract for a $500,000 bonus.
You know what? I think I saw something on Reddit.
So he beamed him and lost the bone technically unless they pitch him in relief sometime here just to make sure he gets it. He has technically lost the bonus to support his team. I got your back. I don't give a shit about. He's like, I don't make decisions based on money. It's what needed to be done. I was like,
I mean, do you think these guys actually think about that stuff though?
I bet he knew. I'm pretty sure he knew. Like, I'm sure he had an awareness of. All right, if I make it to this point, then I make this much money. But at that point, he's like, I don't care. A lot of guys, I'm sure, would stick through it just to get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them technically, but it's nice to see somebody do the supporting of their team. And I can get into the awards discussion, which will happen at the end of the season, of like actual MVPs and Cy Youngs and Rookie of the Years, but I can save that for another time. MVP will be from the Red Sox. MVP will be hopefully Christian Yelich from the Brewers. Cy Young should be Jacob deGrom from the Mets. Cy Young in the AL should probably be, I don't know, Trevor Bauer. He's been injured. Chris Sale's been injured. You know, it's kind of hard race there.
When do they do those awards?
During the playoffs, I believe, or right before. They let the season finish first because those are the season awards. Then there's playoff MVPs and stuff.
Well, we probably won't have time then. I was gonna say if like
not by next week. No.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't be announced until like a week after at least. We won't know for a while.
Oh, okay. So like next time we record.
Next time we record, they probably will be out, and then Rookie of the Year should be either Miguel Andujar or Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. Shohei Ohtani should finish third in that voting, and I don't think he will. I don't give a shit all the hype about him. It does not make sense. Like, the hype makes sense, but he's not the Rookie of the Year, and I don't understand how people don't get that. And then in the National League, it's like a six-way race between Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna and all these other guys.
I don't know any of these people.
Right, so then the last one we can skip if you want to, because the last one says Week 4 of football and Nate's fantasy team, and I'm also playing the spread each week. So
are you doing good?
I'm doing average.
Okay.
So you're ready for real versus fake?
Oh boy.
Real versus fake, what I went to is I went for the good old, you know how people get clickbaited, obviously, with headlines.
Yes.
And we all know what the onion is.
Yep.
We all know what r/not the onion is.
Yep.
We all know what a fake headline should look like and what ones should be real.
Theoretically.
That being said, I'm going to give you 4 headlines.
Okay.
I want you to tell me which one of them is real.
One of the 4 is real.
Right.
Okay.
Headline number 1. Houston mayor pushes back against proposed robot brothel. Number 2. Bus driver who gave children semen-laced treats sentenced to 5 years. Number 3. South Park demands cancellation of South Park. And number 4. Man accused of rubbing produce on his butt in Northern Virginia grocery store.
That's a tough grouping of.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to make it too easy on you.
Oh shit, this is hard.
So, robot brothel, semen treats, South Park, cancel South Park, and rubbing produce on his butt.
Trying to like dissect this and figure out if they're like. I mean, the robotic brothel thing. I mean, there's Houston, right?
Houston, yeah.
I don't know, man. Would South Park want to cancel itself? I mean, they kind of would. Like, I feel like that's a very South Park thing. That's the problem.
Not just self-deprecating, self-canceling.
5 years for semen treats.
When you can, give me a control over there.
I'm gonna go for the last one. The guy rubbing the vegetables.
You're gonna go for rubbing produce on his butt
as
the true one.
As the true one.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Well, good news, you're correct.
Yes.
The bad news is they're all true.
Oh my god. Oh. That's I don't know how I feel about the
So
world.
we'll start with the one you chose.
Okay.
Man accused of rubbing produce on his butt in Northern Virginia grocery store. Paraphrasing here from the article, but a man was arrested at a Northern Virginia grocery store after he was seen pulling down his pants and rubbing produce items on his buttocks, the police said.
I'm curious if it's like on his buttocks or like on his butthole.
The suspect then put the items back on the shelves, a loss prevention employee at the store told authorities, according to the Manassas City Police. Officers responded to the giant grocery store at that address in Manassas shortly after 4:30 p.m. Saturday. Officers arrested the resident at the store. The store had to destroy several pallets of produce after the incident.
Pallets?
Right? That's now my question. What was this? Was it not the way I'm picturing produce? Like, was the produce palletized on the store floor? Was he working there? Like,
the only thing I can imagine is one of the situations where he did it a few times, and they weren't sure of where the things ended up, so they just said, "Fuck it, get rid of all of it."
right.
What a
Which,
waste.
as we know, is thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
A police spokesperson did not have information on what type of produce he allegedly defiled, although she said a police report mentioned it was fruit.
Fruit. Rubbing some grapefruit on your butt.
Yeah. I just...
Sometimes you just gotta get that feeling, you know?
What feeling is that?
I don't know. You tell me.
And like, it's fruit. Okay.
Now I'm curious, all right? If I get
Bananas?
arrested, you gotta bail me out, all right?
You're just going to go to the store and start rubbing shit on your
Yeah.
ass? At least just buy it and then go home and do it. Don't do it at the store.
That takes the fun out of it. You gotta get that little thrill. The thrill.
Yeah.
The thrill of the chase.
The thriller in Manila. All right. Which one do you want to hear about now?
The fucking semen treats, obviously.
All right.
How do you make them?
Bus driver who gave children semen-laced treats sentenced to 5 years.
What? Does it say how old the children were? All right, go ahead.
An Ontario bus driver
I just have so many questions.
who admitted to videotaping children eating treats laced with his semen has been sentenced to 5 years in prison after being convicted of a number of child pornography charges. The bus driver from London, Ontario, pleaded guilty in June to 23 charges, including voyeurism and possessing, making, and distributing child pornography. He is also not allowed to use the internet for 15 years.
That's...
Court heard that the man, who cannot be identified in order to protect the identity of the children he abused, gave cookies and other treats containing his semen to 39 children from kindergarten to 6th grade over a period of 2 years. The driver filmed the children eating the treats and then shared the videos online.
Two things. about
Only
this.
2? I got like 17.
That's a very specific, like, weird fetish.
If it's even a like, that's just fucked up.
That is very fucked up.
Like, people joke that furries are fucked up. No, that's fucked up.
I just don't like. It's hard for me. It's hard to comprehend, which is probably a good thing. It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to, like, I can get into this guy's mindset. Hold on, let me think real quick. Yeah. Semen to children. Everything's fine. Like, I'll videotape it too. Like,
It's
no.
so weird. But just, all right, detach yourself from the pedophilia part of this for a second.
Okay, so we're now talking about semen treats.
No. Can
What?
you imagine not being able to use the internet for 15 years?
Yeah, I know. That was so they were discussing his sentencing and like.
I mean, that seems fair. I get the idea behind it. I'm just saying, like, just the thought of it.
Yeah, because they were talking about his sentencing in that part, and then I saw the part that said he can't use the internet for 15 years, and I was like, "Holy shit, that guy's going to be a caveman when he comes out." Because I'm pretty sure that's going to take like phones out.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
how you couldn't do anything then? You just
Yeah.
watch TV, cable.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, because you can't use smart TV.
Holy shit! Can't watch Netflix.
Nope, it's internet.
Fucking, that's
So I don't know how strict that actual like breakdown
Yeah.
is, but technically If they're like, you cannot have an internet provider at your house, you are not allowed to have a cell phone that has internet capabilities, you are, stuck. You're going to the library. And then even then you can't use the internet.
I have a weird question.
I can't fathom what you're about to ask me after that story.
Do you think if prostitution was legal, that we would have less problems like this?
No.
You don't? Okay.
Not in this specific case. If you're saying that if I think we legalize prostitution, would this stop pedophilic people from feeding their semen to children? I want to be clear. That's what you're asking me.
Not that specific. I'm saying like...
Or are you saying if we had legal prostitution, that there would be a chance that
like
there would be
sex
less
crime.
sex crime in adults?
Yes.
Yes. I think it might not... I think it would bring it down some, but it's not going to solve a problem.
It's not going to like eliminate the problem. Obviously.
But I feel like rather than try to keep pretending, like, even more for people that are prostitutes, I feel like rather than keep trying to convict them, like, if you can get it all into, like, a good old, like, using the ESRB is going to be a really weird comparison, but
licensing.
Do it, like, non-government like, you can keep the government out of being regulated, but say you're going to police yourselves with, record keeping of health, mental health, or, not mental, but physical health and all these things. And you're like, we are
like
doing
what they
this.
do with like making porn and stuff.
Right.
You
like
gotta
we
get
are
tested at X amount of times.
Right.
And
you have to prove, like, when you show up, you have to prove a clear test within the last 30 days. Yeah. All the stuff like this.
How do you know all this, Nate?
I don't know this. I'm saying this is how I would run it. Please, I'm clean. Relax. So
interesting.
Then you could get away with still being able to, like, give people a release.
Yeah.
And not have to go, like, because I don't know, you probably wouldn't have to worry so much about all these hooker murders you hear about in Vegas and shit.
I'm just curious,
I mean, if you could end up in a house,
yeah,
that house could then provide security at the same time. Mm-hmm. It could all be very actual, like, window shoppingly businessy.
It's like, I'm always curious about those types of things. Like,
I mean, now what do you want to talk about, Matt? Want to pin me into a corner? Let's go.
I'm always curious about those types of things, like, like legalizing marijuana, for example, like what that would do to, like, crime rates and drug crime and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
And
there's always the talk of, like, what if we just took away this restriction and said go? Like, what would actually be, like, how fast would people... I feel like if you remove restriction, right, immediately the first thing is people are going to push their limits as fast as they can go. But that after the first initial wave of, like, we can do anything we want, it's going to immediately flatten out.
Yeah.
You're going to have that, if you're watching, like, a heart monitor, everything would be flat where we said you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. And then you hit them with an electric shock, and the thing just bounces all around for a solid few minutes, and then it just flatlines again because they're like, all right, well, we can do whatever we want, so it's kind of whatever now.
Yeah.
They kind of just reach, like, that boredom stage. Like, once you can do whatever you want,
it's not fun.
You don't want to do anything you
want
want because it's not. You're not you're not like, oh, I'm being such a bad boy. Like, oh no, I can just go murder somebody if I want to. Like, it's just quite whatever.
It's whatever.
That's what I mean. Like, if that's the point. You could like you can see that kind of where you're like, yeah, everything's legal, whatever.
Yup. All right, what else we got here?
You got South Park canceling South Park and Robot Brothel.
I'm more curious about the South Park thing.
Okay, South Park. We'll do that one.
I mean, we'll probably talk about the other one too. But
we're going to talk about all of them. It's just going to be in this order. So South Park demands the cancellation of South Park. Hashtag campaigns revolving around a TV show's life or death usually come from fans encouraging networks to save their favorite programs. But Comedy Central's South Park is no ordinary TV show. Its official Twitter feed is both promoting the return of the show and circulating the hashtag cancel South Park. On Wednesday, the show tweeted a short video declaring that, quote, America has reached a crossroads, end quote, and asking, quote, what will we do next, before sharing the hashtag.
You think they're running into the problem where reality's so ridiculous now, they're having a hard time making a parody of it?
Oh, I think that's true of a lot of shows. Like where people want to start, like when you see certain things on like The Onion, and you're like, this is actually might just be true. Like this isn't even a parody anymore. This is just like a true article. This might as well be news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's painful. It's scary.
It is. I mean, when you get to a point where South Park
is giving up. Like not actually giving up, but they're like,
we could and people would understand.
We could, like, even when they were doing like the PC principle stuff and everything, and about being PC and yada yada. I'm like, that's overblown, but you're not wrong. That's
pretty close.
Not even like, that's not even out of the realm of possibility of happening. That is right there and existing. And the fact that you nailed it is scary as shit to me.
It's crazy. It's a weird world we live in. It's a
fucked up world we live in.
It really is.
Speaking of fucked up worlds, let's talk about Houston.
Listen, I'll take a robotic brothel.
So I'd take it over the real one, probably.
I know, it's probably safer.
It's cleaner. It should be. Anyway.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah, or it's worse. It's kind of combination of the two there. Houston mayor pushes back against proposed robot brothel. A Canadian company wants to open a so-called robot brothel in Houston, but is getting pushback from officials and community groups, with the mayor saying the city is reviewing its ordinances to determine if they address public safety and health concerns potentially associated with the business. Mayor Sylvester Turner says he's not trying to be the moral police, but that this is not the type of business he wants opening in the city.
That is the moral police then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the moral police. The name of the company apparently is Kinky S Dolls.
Are sex dolls that advanced now?
Probably. Have you? I mean,
honestly,
I can't say what I'm about to say without sounding really weird. Have you seen what Japan's done?
That's the thing. I just assumed they couldn't ever be as good as I would want them to be. So I've never actually looked at them or looked at any of the news articles that pertain to them, because they're always there's always on Reddit or something.
Mostly it's because of following Lawrence on Twitter and stuff.
Listen, you don't have to explain yourself, Nate.
That you see a lot of
we're all friends here.
I'm saying you see a lot of weird shit out of Japan, like whether it's anime or whatever, because he's so infatuated with Japan.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was him or Elise or what the deal was sharing an article or company discussing sexual robots and Japan's view of them or something. Because Japanese men are really weird in that, not into them, but they have a really weird problem with actually interacting with Japanese women. Or it was some weird article discussing that and how robots could help that situation. Yeah, something weird.
Yeah.
But hey now. But it's one of those. I don't know. I just don't. Interesting.
Have you ever seen George Lucas's first movie? It's called THX.
No, I have
1138.
not. Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
I know of it, but I've never watched it.
There's a scene where the main character comes home, sits down in front of his TV, and then a machine comes down and basically masturbates for him.
Oh.
Simulates whatever.
That's interesting.
And that's whenever it comes up, that's the image that comes into my head. Sex robots or whatever. That's what comes into my head. I don't know why.
Hey.
Because it's something
no comes into your head
scene.
joke? All right. Sorry. I was going with a cum joke.
Oh.
Kinky S Dolls says it's opening a, quote, Love Dolls brothel in Houston. It opened a similar venue in Toronto in 2017.
That's not
so
far.
Our neighbors to the north have something we could check out.
Do you have your passport?
Yep. The company. Yeah, this is me who also says I'm never going in a strip club, and now we're discussing this. The company.
Do you know what else Toronto has that are known around the world?
Yeah, it's true.
Strip clubs.
The company hasn't returned a call or email seeking comment Thursday. Elijah Rising, a Houston-based not-for-profit focused on Elijah Rising, a Houston-based not-for-profit focused on ending sex trafficking. I'm pretty sure I butchered that again, but you get it.
Oh, it sounded fine.
Has started an online petition asking the business be kept out of the city.
I don't see how those correlate.
I don't know what the not-for-profit like normally does or whatever, but I'm sure it's probably some like Christian Mothers Against sex robots or something.
I feel like
can we get to the point where that's a group? Like we have Mothers Against Drunk Driving and all this other shit. Can we get Mothers Against Sex Robots?
So
Mazur.
To link this to the Kavanaugh thing,
that's Kavanaugh raped a sex robot. Spread the news.
I was listening to NPR
Can you
on the
rape
way
a
up
sex
here.
robot? That's a good question. If the robot says no,
you should play Detroit.
If the robot says no,
you should play Detroit. Become human.
That's a different question though. Those are, I mean, so technically, I guess you're right. Robot and android, same thing. But I think in that situation where they're trying to live among us is different, where versus them being a service, if that makes sense. Because if the service says no, I'm like, what did I pay for? Then I walk outside and I complain to the owner.
So,
yeah, back to sex robots and Kavanaugh. Go ahead.
One of the side effects of one of the angles of this whole thing, the assault,
the angle of the dangle, if you will. Hey.
The assault testimony and the whole like Me Too movement is there's been a big push in several states to add consent to sex education, like the whole concept of
yes,
of obtaining,
no.
Obtaining consent.
The only time I might get shit if I say that.
Well, think about it. I'll keep talking. Think about it for a second.
All right. I'll phrase it carefully.
And one of the arguments against this idea of adding the concept of consent into sex education is that it'll promote sex.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so people are afraid that it will
that if you teach consent, it promotes sex.
It promotes sex, and that you are giving the message that you approve of having sex.
What if we did? Who cares?
I think they fucking lost that battle. I was so mad on the drive up here when I heard that. I'm like, are you serious right now with that? How did you have these children that you're worried about?
There's also nothing more hypocritical than what we just talked about before. We're like, the moment you say I can't have that cookie, oh, you bet your ass I'm getting that cookie.
Yeah, that's true. It's
the thing with consent I was going to say is it is a great tool. I just think we need to get careful about what we are talking about in terms of consent. Like, yes is yes, no is no. Like that's cut and dry. But if we're going to have to get to the point where I hand somebody a document and I go, you need to sign this before we continue.
Yeah.
We're almost now too far.
Yeah.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, put your thumb on my phone so I have your fingerprint signing this document that says you are now bound to, yada, 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 yada. Like, where's that PDF form filler app? Perfect idea for an app. That's all I'm saying right now, right here.
I think there is one. Honestly,
if there isn't, there's about to be.
I'm fairly certain there is one because I kind of have an inkling of a memory where if someone came out with an app where like you could exchange information with someone and basically give them like a consent proof that you agreed on.
Here's the app idea.
I think it mainly related to certain fetishes that might be.
There's also I think a website that when this was coming up before with the Funhouse guys, they were talking about where you can apparently both like two partners, like almost like the Cosmo quizzes and shit. Mm-hmm. Like two partners could go and take these quizzes discussing like what you're both into, and then it would only show you the results that you both said yes to. So that way you could
like
learn
Tinder for like,
but like you could learn specifically bedroom stuff.
Yeah.
So you could learn what each of you would like, what you like, but you've never had like the comfort to say it to the person.
That's an interesting idea.
So you could do that quiz and 2 separate times, and then it would only show you the stuff you said yes to.
Okay, so
So like, yes, there's the idea that you could be a super shitty partner and just click yes to everything to find out what they're like really into.
yeah,
But that's betraying the trust of your partner and being a scumbag.
which then you
literally is
fundamentally have an issue to
immediately
begin
like
with.
now we have a different problem. But that was something I was. But back to the app idea. The app idea is a repository of certificates that are encrypted and yada yada, all the safety stuff that are encrypted with 2 keys, your key and the
Whoever
person
key.
the partner's signing key, and they are signed by your thumbprints or whatever. Because smartphones love fucking fingerprints.
Yep.
I would say selfies, but that's
fuck fingerprints.
I would say selfies, but I feel like that would be even worse looking back at the documents later, and you're like,
So when my
don't
phone,
show me a selfie of this.
when my phone doesn't read my fingerprint, is that it saying no to us?
Yeah, right. Yeah, your phone's cock blocking you. No, so it would be that, but it would be like form filling, so you can same way where it's like we both agree we consent to this part. Like it's a drop down menu of things, and then there's other where you can just write in what you're both talking about.
Yeah,
And then it gets to the bottom and it says your thumbprint, partner's thumbprint. You both sign, that gets saved away, and that's an unchangeable document that you could choose it if you wanted to. Like this is in place forever, or we can like put amendments to it after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we now want to add this, or we want to remove this is what we're talking about. Stuff like that. And then that gets locked away. So now ever somebody, which I know this still has technical problems. I have solutions around that.
like the whole idea of continuing consent and all that.
Well, not just continuing consent. So that's the thing is you can make the terms in that contract. You can put a time window on if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. So like this weekend, that's what we're putting it on for. Like, the problem. That's not. Hold on, finish that out. So that's that.
Yeah.
Then if ever something came up in a case or anything, you can go, I have a signed document by both of us saying we were good at that time. I signed it. My partner signed it. We're good. So I don't know what you would have to be arguing breach of contract or something at that point. But here's the part where you have to be careful. That thumbprint signing, you have to create the document, whether or not you're writing it with the person there, but then you have to send it to them via that app. They have to have the account on their phone and sign it on their phone. Mm-hmm. So that way you can't just grab their hand and sign it. Because otherwise you can sign it on yours, and then when your phone's unlocked, you could take a sleeping person, use their hand, and sign it.
Yeah, so the whole idea is we both have the same app, and you using your phone and your thumbprint is signing the document, and that document with both signatures is stored on like a server somewhere.
Yeah, it's stored
or both have a copy
on a server somewhere that can only be decrypted with the key that is assigned to your thumbprint and the key that is assigned to her thumbprint.
Yeah.
So that way it's, there's no third party that's just going through looking at all these things like, ooh, what weird shit are these people into, yada, yada. It's like, no. Either I can unlock it or she can unlock it, or your partner can unlock it in the terms of when it ever potentially became a question.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. People, I got money making ideas for you. I can't do it. I can't program that well, but I'm saying it's an option.
Yeah, the sad thing is it kind of takes away a little bit of the romanticism of like
it does,
sex.
but this entire thing, this entire timeline now of where we are in society is taking away from that idea.
Yeah. Because people have to ruin it.
Because now, Jesus.
Well,
because
I mean, the idea of consent is pretty fucking simple.
Right, it's pretty fucking simple. But the other problem is even is in the Kavanaugh situation or any of them.
Yeah.
Women specifically, I feel like I know it happens with men too, but I feel like it's broader to say women are scared to come forward.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help regardless because it turns into he said, she said.
Yeah, which it's kind of like
where that document you could go. It's no longer he said, she said. It's literally right here.
Yeah,
I said this with this person. We're signed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
$1 million idea, people. It's not even hard. Don't put ads in it.
You make it a service.
Charge 99 cents for an initial download. I'll tell you what, there's 7 billion people in the world. That's $7 billion. You just have to get certain phones to like Africa.
I think that's the least of their concerns, unfortunately.
I'm going to end this with a quote on slavery.
Listen, let me finish my thought that
sorry.
I had.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not related to anything in this podcast.
Oh, okay, because I'm going to make a racist joke at the end of this, so go ahead.
These chips, the Chesapeake Bay crab chips.
Oh, we're coming in full circle. I might not even end this on a racist
crab
joke.
Spice. They taste like ramen noodles.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Like, I think they're like
ramen noodles, but the way that I would make them, which is not with a full flavor packet.
Yeah,
because
and
it's too salty if you use a full flavor packet.
Yeah, and it's kind of like almost like a slight mixture of the beef and chicken.
I usually go shrimp chicken, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, well, that would make sense.
Yeah. We're so good.
We are. God damn it, man.
Lay's, hire us. We'll make you chips. We'll just mix a bunch of shit together all day.
Hell yeah.
It's also like being in those soda.
I've been over here. Have you seen me? I've been trying to figure it out. Like,
it's just like that little taste, like hint of
I was
pemmican.
like literally sucking on the chips.
Oh Jesus. The racist joke that I was going to say, and it's one that Sark has said, which is why I love it so much. Mm-hmm. He's like, if you really had access to a time machine and you wanted to stop slavery, why wouldn't you just go back and nuke Africa?
That is a good stand-up joke, I think.
It's a great stand-up joke, and it's like historically when you start thinking about like, yes, humanity was started in Africa and all that stuff. You're right. If you just nuked Africa at that point, it doesn't happen. Humanity's gone.
Problem solved.
Makes it real easy. Anyway, that's been General Chat 2. And I think this one went a lot better than the first one. I think there wasn't as much silence. Because I feel like last time we were kind of struggling to kind of...
Yeah, well, the problem is we talk
about
stuff and then we record.
Right.
Usually.
And I think that's why I grabbed this stuff.
Yeah,
because it gives us something to talk about. Mm-hmm. I like the real versus fake. I'll probably run that again at the end of the next month.
Yeah, you fucking tricked me.
I know.
That wasn't fair.
I know. I was debating telling you to say which one is false.
I guess the way you did it, though, I was going to win no matter what, so that's nice.
Right, that's why I did that, because I debated saying which one of these is false, and then saying, well, guess what, you're wrong. They're all, and then going like, nope, try again, nope, try again. And then once you got to all four, then you're like, wait a second. I'd be like, yeah, I know. But I felt like that was a dick move, so... Would you quit licking the chip?
I'm just trying it out, man. I'm just like rubbing it out my tongue.
Ladies, that sound was for you. All right. We'll see you guys next week. This has been Nate's off week. Find him via other things that aren't this podcast. And don't find Matt. I don't think he wants to be found.
Stalk him.
Don't stalk me. Try to stalk me. You know what? Try to stalk me. Tell me you stalked me. I'll feel flattered. Because I'm a lonely boy. Bye.